They kill babies in the front of their parents and then kill the parents. I heard during my childhood about the pogrom in Europe and the Holocaust, of course. All my family came from Europe and they are survivors, etc., etc. I never think that I will see in my eyes picture and things like this.
Just some horrific breaking news coming here. New and disturbing details on the deadly surprise Hamas attack on Israel 5 days ago. Israeli military and civilian officials have confirmed to CBS News children were among the victims beheaded in the Hamas attack on one community. Time now is 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Irampour. Those horrifying details come as we now see new video obtained by CNN showing how Hamas militants gained entry into an Israeli community. They shot a civilian that was driving through a gate. Right now, we don't know what happened to that person.
More than 1,200 people now have been killed in Israel. At least 1,000 Palestinians have been killed in the Gaza Strip by Israel's retaliatory airstrikes. President Biden says at least 14 Americans are among the dead. The first U.S. shipment of weapons has already arrived in Israel, and defense officials say a small group of U.S. Special Forces are on the ground there to help with planning and intelligence. CBS News' Holly Williams sharing frightening new details about the attack on villages in Israel.
New horrors are still emerging from the communities where Hamas militants went on a bloody killing spree. After finally wresting back control of Kfar Aza kibbutz, a small farming community, Israeli security forces discovered the aftermath of a massacre. Residents were murdered wherever the gunmen found them. Israel's military told us multiple soldiers reported finding children who had been beheaded.
It was an absolute war zone.
It was an absolute war zone.
Cars flipped over, completely wrecked. We were sitting there, both of us, with our little innocent baby who was sleeping at the time. We were basically barricaded in for 21 hours until the army rescued us.
Israel's used to living in close proximity to its enemies, but the last 4 days have shocked this nation and shaken its sense of security. The question now is how Israel will respond. It's already raining down deadly airstrikes on the Gaza Strip from where Hamas militants launched their assault. Israel may be softening the territory for a ground invasion that's expected in the days ahead. Holly Williams, CBS News, Siderot in southern Israel.
As Israel rightly fights to defend itself, San Diego will continue to stand with Israel and our Jewish community, both here and around the world.
That was San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria speaking at a vigil in La Jolla last night. Look at how many people showed up to this. People in San Diego's Jewish community, city leaders, and others gathered to honor those who've died in Israel. Meantime, as Israel retaliates against Hamas, people in Gaza say they are stuck in the middle. The United Nations says 200,000 people in Gaza have been displaced since the conflict began. Palestinian officials say dozens of buildings have been flattened as a result of Israeli airstrikes.
I got married this year, says Yahya Lahuel. What did I do? What have we done? You destroyed an entire neighborhood. He says he never fired a rocket.
Residents have been cut off from food and electricity. Yesterday, Israel struck Gaza's only port used mainly by fishermen. According to the CIA, around 40% of the population of Gaza is under the age of 15.
Now, today, House Republicans are expected to vote on their choice to be the next Speaker of the House. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana and Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan are the top contenders, but neither candidate has the majority support they need. Right now, the House cannot vote on any legislation that would provide assistance for Israel until a Speaker is elected.
This is a very difficult situation. It's unprecedented at the Port of San Diego.
This morning, Sandy Naranjo, National City's representative on the San Diego Board of Port Commissioners, is no longer in her leadership role.
Last night, the board voted to censure and remove her from that position. CBS 8's Regina Yarita joins us live to explain why and what's expected to happen here today. Regina.
Yeah, well, Sandy Naranjo is accused of making false accusations against a staffer. Last night, there was a very lengthy meeting to talk about those accusations, and the Port of San Diego commissioners voted to censure Naranjo and take away her role as vice chair. Take a listen to what they concluded.
What I think that everyone will find when they look at that report with their own eyes is experiencing a feeling of shock, of the egregiousness.
And according to the investigation, the report accuses Naranjo of violating the Brown Act. This is California's law that guarantees the public's right to attend and participate in meetings of local legislative bodies. It accuses her of making false accusations against a port staffer, and it concludes that the commissioner acted in her own self-interest at the expense of the district's best interests. Now, Naranjo was sworn in 2021 and represented National City. She also served in an advisory-only position on the San Diego Association of Governments Board of Directors as a representative of the port. Naranjo has played a very vocal role in helping define the agency's air quality policies. She's eyed changes to Bayfront industrial operations that impact National City, Barrio Logan, Sherman Heights, and Logan Heights neighborhoods. And those who spoke out against the vote at last night's meeting say they believe the board's action was premature and that Naranjo is a trusted community leader. They now worry about the lack of representation. This is what they had to say during that meeting.
These allegations are vague, opaque, anonymous, and not only deprive Ms. Naranjo of constitutionally guaranteed due process rights, but it strips National City of any meaningful representation on this commission.
And board members voted to appoint Danielle Moore for the vice chair role, but she declined. We also know that a redacted version of the report is supposed to be released sometime today, so we'll bring you more information as more details of that starts to come in. For now, I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thank you for those details. And now this morning, the County Board of Supervisors using $3 million in funding for migrants and asylum seekers. This money comes from the American Rescue Plan Act, the nearly $2 trillion stimulus bill passed in 2021, and it will give migrants better access to food, water, translators, and transportation. This all comes as thousands of asylum seekers have been released into San Diego County over the past month or so. Meantime, a proposal to end the county's immigrant rights legal defense program failed to advance. So the program will continue. It costs $5 million annually, and it provides taxpayer-funded legal defense for immigrants facing deportation.
A little rain as you step out the side here today and on the roads. Give yourself a little extra time because it's going to be wet out there. How long is this rain going to stick around?
So it's all associated with this marine layer that's very dense this morning, but by the afternoon should break apart. So afternoon stretch, a little bit of sunshine in there, but for now, still cloudy, still drizzly out there. Opportunity for a few hundredths of an inch in there. So not all that much accumulating rain, but there is the opportunity there for a few hundredths of an inch. Live look at your satellite radar imagery shows where the green is popping up. A little bit hard to actually pin down on satellite radar imagery, but it gives that general impression of it's scattered, it's all across the county. Same with that cloud cover. There's quite a bit of it extending even to your western slopes of the mountains. So very overcast morning with some damp roads out there. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be trending cooler than average. So, hey, enjoy the very fall-like day. But what we're going to notice over the mountains and deserts is some very gusty west winds. Temperatures in the mid-60s across the mountains, 89 out there for the deserts, but along the coast and inland, we're trending mostly in the low to mid-70s out there. Live look shows the overcast skies. We're not going to encounter that sunrise until 6:50 a.m., so we still have another about 40 minutes or so before we'll start to see some of that light come through. And even then, with the overcast skies that we're holding on to, we're not going to see all that much of the sunshine prevail up until past the noon hour. 6:21 is that sunset into the evening. So check out your temperatures as you walk out the door. Could warrant a jacket, maybe something with a hood that's a little bit lighter, because temperatures are not that cold out there. We're mostly in the 60s. Those clouds have helped to hold on to some of the warmth from yesterday, but we're still in that cooler range for our afternoon high temperatures today. We're going to get a much more widespread warming trend on hand as we get toward the upcoming weekend. A ridge of high pressure builds, help to see our temperatures make their way to the mid 80s or so, at least inland. Along the coast, we'll likely make our way into the upper 70s. So we'll all notice that warming trend really kick in by Sunday, Monday or so. cooling down a bit into the middle of next week, but that's what we're building toward as this ridge of high pressure begins to expand. So we'll talk in more detail about what that ridge of high pressure is going to do for us, including the opportunity for some Santa Ana winds to return to the forecast. Let's take a look at your border wait times. It's about to hit 6:10 on the clock. And we're seeing right now at the San Ysidro Port of Entry a 60-minute wait. Longer wait time at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry right now, 80 minutes is what you're looking at. So usually this is flipped around a bit, but do expect faster pass through the Port of Entry in San Ysidro compared to Otay Mesa right now at about an hour 20. Back to you, two.
Still head wide, this guy climbed a skyscraper, and it's not the first time he's done this. Plus, pizza with a side of handgun? What happened here?
They're celebrating 100 years of Liberty Station here at Stone, where they're creating a Centennial beer using Centennial hops. The story behind their American Pilsner coming up.